Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beale Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with another great guest impacting our community in a positive way. Today, I welcome OC Fair and Event Center General Manager and CEO Michelle Richards. The fair runs between July 15th and August 14th. It will be dark Mondays and Tuesdays. The theme is Feel the Sunshine, Celebrate Everything Under the Sun. Thank you, Michelle, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you for having me, Dawn.
Michelle, please explain the highlights of the various events that will go on at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa during the fair's 23-day run.
Yes, well, you know there's something for everyone at the OC Fair. So let's first talk about the very traditional aspects of the fair, the competitions. So the public can enter their handmade goods, quilts and pies and photography and original artwork, fine art, for the various competitions. And then, of course, there's the traditional junior livestock auction where the kids that have raised animals all throughout the school year bring their animals to auction at the OC Fair, the 4-H and FFA kids. And then, of course, there's all the great food at the OC Fair. That's the number one reason people love coming to the fair is to sample all that great food. There's carnival rides. There's great entertainment. So there's something for everyone at the OC Fair.
And what's the purpose of going to the OC Fair?
Well, I mean, it's a very simple three-letter word, fun, F-U-N. Because if you don't come for fun, you might as well stay home. And the OC Fair is a great tradition in Orange County. It is the largest single gathering of the community throughout the year, and you just feel the joy when people come through the gates.
And it's reflective of the community.
Absolutely reflective of the community, not only from a programming standpoint, where we offer the things that people want to see, they want to explore, and they want to learn about, but the OC Fair attracts the greater Orange County community. So the people that come to the fair are a reflection of the people who live in our community.
And you talked about food. What can we expect?
Always great stuff at the OC Fair. So there's all the traditional great fair food like corn dogs and funnel cakes and popcorn. We have some pretty incredible new stuff this year. So people love Chicken Charlie. You know, he's our concessionaire that invents the crazy fried food every year. In fact, his theme is totally fried. So Charlie is offering a Kool-Aid chicken sandwich this year. So it is sweet, it's tart, it's savory, everything all wrapped up together with a pickle on top.
Do you have any idea how he creates this stuff?
You know what? We have learned that Charlie works all year long when the fairs are not going on, inventing new things in his kitchen. He's constantly experimenting and coming up with new things.
What's the most popular food people eat?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. I would say probably corn dogs are high on the list of fair favorites.
Now, to go to the fair, you have to buy your tickets online.
You do, yes. And the reason that we're doing that is because just like last year, we are limiting and controlling our attendance. Not necessarily because of the conditions that, existed with COVID last summer, but because we learned some things about having a smaller crowd, is that it creates a great guest experience where there's a lot more elbow room. People can get to the front of the line quicker. It's just so much more pleasant of an experience for our guests. It also impacts the surrounding neighborhoods much less than it does when we have unlimited attendance. And then, of course, there's the impact on the staff, and the ability to handle, from an operational standpoint, to handle a smaller crowd versus a larger crowd. So people loved it last year, and we decided to stick with that model for this year.
So if someone wants to go, they need to order online. Explain that process.
They do. So if you go on ocfair.com, click on the fair, and you can purchase your ticket right from our website. There are no fees at all associated with buying your ticket online. You pick the day that you want to come and get your ticket online. You can also, at the same time, order a ride wristband that is back again this year, and we're very excited about it. So on Wednesdays and Thursdays, you can buy an unlimited ride wristband to ride all the rides.
Of course, there's limitation in terms of when the wristbands stop being in use.
Yep. So you can purchase your wristband either ahead of time online, or it'll cost a little bit more if you buy it on site when you get to the fair. But you can purchase the wristband until 5 p.m. and you can ride unlimited until 8 p.m.
Now, during the fair, there's all kinds of entertainment. Some of it's professional entertainment. Some of it is children performing.
Yes. So we're very proud that during the day, we have multiple stages throughout the fair that feature community entertainment. And these are entertainers right from our own neighborhoods, our own community, dance groups and bands and solo singers. So there's just an unlimited amount of entertainment. Always something on the stage at the OC Fair.
And for them to be able to perform at the fair, how far in advance do they need to reach out to the fair to try to perform at the fair?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we start taking applications very early in the year. And, audition, we look at audition tapes or CDs and tapes, and we start selecting soon after the first of the year.
So anybody who wants to be in next year's fair should start applying around January or so?
Yes, look on ocfair.com, and it'll have all the information about applying to entertain at the fair.
And then you have 2 other big stages for musical performances generally.
We do. So let me talk about the hangar first. So the hangar is a beautiful building on the fairgrounds that is designed after the El Toro Air Base hangars. And it has a beautiful stage in it. And during the day, it's community entertainment. But at night, we feature tribute bands. And they are so incredibly popular. You can buy those tickets online right now as well. And when you buy a concert ticket, your fair admission is included for free that day. So you can see community entertainment during the day at the hangar and then enjoy the tribute bands in the evening.
And then there's the other big stage.
And you're talking about the Pacific Amphitheater, yes. So we are very fortunate to have a beautiful 8,200-seat outdoor amphitheater at the OC Fair and Event Center, and that's where our headline concerts take place. So every day of the fair, and then even a few concerts after the fair on the Pacific Amphitheater stage. Would you like to hear some of the bands that are playing? Okay, so Boy George and Culture Club will be there. There's music for everyone. So we're even featuring some comedians this year. So Jim Gaffigan will be there. Trevor Noah will perform at the Pacific Amphitheater. Country entertainers like Cole Swindell, Brett Eldridge. We've got rock and roll bands that'll be playing. The Happy Together Tour is back. Those are all those great 50s and 60s bands that will be playing. We're featuring some concerts after the fair, like Jackson Brown, local Orange County performer, hugely popular. I'm looking forward to that one, too. There's just a huge variety of entertainment at the fair.
And then you have an event that's returning, the walk.
Yes. You're referring to the fun run?
Yes, I
right?
am.
Yes,
sorry, it's a run.
That's okay. It's a walk for me, too, Dawn. A lot of people know that the finish line of the annual Orange County Marathon is at the OC Fair and Event Center. And so Gary Kutcher and the team at the OC Marathon are great partners of ours. And several years ago, we started the 5K fun run at the fair. So people can go online to register right now for that fun run. It'll take place on Sunday, August 7th. And it takes place before the fair opens. And so you actually get to run in and around the fair before it opens that day.
Now, when you go to the fair, how should someone prepare to enjoy themselves? And I mean, when they get in there, where should they put stuff in a locker? Should they bring a jacket? What should they wear?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, you should review the list of items that are not allowed in the fair. We don't like to see people bring those items to the gate and then have to go, put them back in their car. But first they've got to get their ticket ahead of time. So go to ocfair.com. Select the day you want to come to the fair, get your tickets online, and you can print those at home, or you can get a QR code on your device, your mobile device. So prepare with your tickets in advance, and then definitely dress for warm weather. But in Costa Mesa, it always cools off in the evening. So if you plan to stay after sunset, maybe bring a sweater or a light jacket just in case. There's tons of food that you can purchase at the fair, but you can bring your own food if you want to, as long as it's in a soft-sided case and no drinks inside the fair. And then you'll want to look at all of the entertainment and maybe plan out your day so you don't miss a thing. Spend time in Centennial Farm looking at the animals. Be sure to go through the exhibit buildings. You'll want to do a little shopping while you're there. Make sure you look at the entertainers that are in the lineup for that day so you don't miss a bit of fun.
When it comes to animals, the pigs are often very popular.
They are. And we are expecting 1, maybe 2 litters of piglets to be born during the OC Fair. So you might be lucky and choose a day to come when piglets are being born at our own Centennial Farm.
And then when it comes to gardening, you have a whole section devoted to that. And I know in my particular case, I've seen vegetables bigger than I've ever seen anywhere.
Well, that's one of the competitions that you can enter, the different growing competitions, gardening competitions. And we work with the Master Gardeners of Orange County. They're there to help people with their backyard gardening issues and questions, and they're wonderful partners. And we grow many, many crops at Centennial Farms so people can see how food is grown in California.
And you also offer many lectures of sorts, if you mind, at the fair, cooking.
Yes. And so in the promenade, which is just off of Main Mall, lots of wonderful cooking demonstrations. So we have chefs from various restaurants and different culinary activities going on the stages so people can learn how to make some wonderful food.
Well, you have on-site contests.
We do pie eating contests and just all kinds of silly games. It wouldn't be the fair without that.
And explain the safety.
So safety and the security of our guests is our number one priority at the OC Fair. It's our number one value as an organization. And we have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars on security equipment and staff. We work very closely with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. They are our on-site law enforcement entity at the OC Fair. And in fact, there is more law enforcement at the OC Fair than in any other single place in Orange County while the fair is going on. So we want our guests to feel safe and secure from the minute they walk through the gates.
And you have 2 sections for young kids and older ones.
We split our carnival into 2 different areas. It can be a little intimidating for our little guys to go into the big carnival where there's lots of lights and sounds and big rides, right? Well, we created Kidland, and it's where all the kid rides are. And so families can spend the whole day in Kidland if they have little guys.
And the ages for that would be?
Oh, I would say kids up to even 10, 12 years old can ride most of the rides in Kidland.
And the parents can feel safe and feel comfortable being in that section so they don't compete with the other ones.
Exactly. Well, we like the big kids to go to the big kid carnival and adult carnival.
And of course, you have a lot of the competitions in terms of people throwing whatever they do at those little games, the carnies.
Oh my gosh, people love the games at the OC Fair. So you can try to throw a ring around a soda bottle or a ping pong ball inside a a cup, pick a duck floating in the a plastic duck floating in the water to see if you won. You could shoot water at a balloon and see who pops their balloon first and win a huge stuffed animal.
Now, you told me before we came to air that you are hiring.
We are hiring, yes. So there are about 1,500 employees that we hire each year to help us with the OC Fair, and we still have some openings in certain areas. So the fair is about 2.5 weeks away. If someone has not lined up a great summer job and they're looking for a fun way to work their way through the summer, please go online and apply. We'd love to have people.
And tell us some of the stories you've heard of people who go to the fair on a regular basis.
Well, there are people in our community that have never missed an OC Fair, and they love to take their annual picture with their family somewhere iconic at the fair. They choose a spot that means something to them and their family. And I've seen families that have framed their photos year after year. They make it an annual family tradition.
How do you view the OC Fair?
Well, the OC Fair, to me, if I had to sum it up in one word, I would have to say it's community. It's different from going to other venues in Southern California. It features the best and brightest talent of our community. It's just such a coming together of people. And I absolutely love to walk the fair and just see the joy on people's faces, and especially on the kids as they're discovering a giant, ice cream cone or seeing a farm animal for the first time. It's all about community.
Yeah, and people bring their grandkids, and they started going when they were a kid. And
yep.
It's a good memory that you can make and have.
Absolutely. And it's all about making those great memories, too.
And, of course, when it comes to items, you find things at the fair that you're not going to find anywhere.
Well, right. We haven't talked about the shopping yet. So we have 2 full buildings of the most unique items you can imagine. And it's so fun to walk up and down the aisles and see, what's for sale. And, I've spent a few dollars there buying some unique items.
Are you careful as to who sells their wares there?
Oh, yes. They, too, have to apply at the fair. They have to show that they have a good track record, that they're a well-run business, and that whatever they're selling is something that we feel the community would be very attracted to.
Now, in the past, there were shuttles, but that's not happening this time.
Unfortunately, not this year. You're talking about the OC Fair Express. This was a partnership that we started several years ago with the Orange County Transportation Authority, and they apply for and have received a grant each year to be able to run from 8, sometimes 9 different locations in Orange County, an express bus that will go from a particular city in Orange County directly to the fair. Unfortunately, OCTA was not able to get that grant this year, and so we've had to put that on hold, but we're hoping to bring those back next year.
So where do people park?
Well, here's another very, very good benefit for controlling that attendance is we can now park all of our fair guests on site. With very few exceptions. So if you come to the OC Fair, the chances are you are absolutely going to get to park right in our own parking lot.
Explain how people can get information about the fair, Everything Fair.
Everything Fair is at www.ocfair.com, and you'll see the fair come up prominent. Just start clicking around, and you'll find everything you need.
Thank you, OC Fair and Event Center General Manager and CEO Michelle Richards, for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.